No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. This Sunday is AEW Double or Nothing on pay-per-view. This was the go-home show in Las Vegas, Nevada. We kicked off Dynamite with the guy who usually opens up Dynamite these days, the international champion, Orange Cassidy, aka Pockets. He came to the ring for his match with Kyle Fletcher from Aussie Open. And by the way, they are now all elite. They are part of AEW now, adding to the very large roster that already exists. Kyle took a cheap shot right off the bat, almost won with a brainbuster in the opening moments. He took Cassidy to the outside of the ring. Cassidy got the upper hand for a while after nailing Kyle with a DDT on the apron, then took him out with beach break on the floor. Kyle barely beat the 10 count, and after the commercial break, it went back and forth for a while. Kyle was not able to put Orange Cassidy away, even with the Michinoku driver off the middle rope. Orange Cassidy still kicked out, and then Cassidy picked up the win with the roll through. So good match here. No surprise that Orange Cassidy retained. I mean, he's defending his title in that Blackjack Battle Royal, whatever they're calling it. And yes, Orange Cassidy did kick out of 2 tombstones, but keep in mind that it's not The Undertaker's tombstone. It's Kyle Fletcher, and it just doesn't have the oomph that The Undertaker's tombstone has. Backstage, Ricky Starks talked about how he is sick and tired of getting beat up by the Bullet Club, and now he has nothing left to lose. He said he's refocusing his energy on winning the international title at the pay-per-view. But then, just as he said that, you had the Bullet Club guys, Jay White and Juice Robinson, jump him. They attacked him with a chair and said that they are going to continue making his life a living hell. We had Jungle Boy cutting a backstage promo talking about how he would drive home from Las Vegas after all these AEW shows, but this time he is going to drive home as the world champion. We'll see what happens. I do not expect that to happen, but to get my predictions, you'll have to tune in for the No DQ predictions video, which will be Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the No DQ YouTube channel. FTR came to the ring for a promo, and they did admit that Jeff Jarrett's team outsmarted them. However, they're also lucky, and their luck is going to run out at Double or Nothing. And then Dax Harwood took it a step further and called Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal a couple of TNA rejects, and also mentioned Dixie Carter, saying that when Jarrett and Lethal lose, they can call up Dixie Carter and try to get their jobs back. I mean, do they know that Dixie hasn't been there in a decade? I guess it's funny if you mention Dixie Carter. I definitely thought that was an amusing line there. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, today in history, not only was he born in 1987, but in 1999, a Raw tribute to Owen Hart after he died tragically at Over the Edge. Happy birthday, Hamp. And unfortunately, you share a birthday with an unfortunate event, a tribute to Owen Hart. I was born the day Kennedy was assassinated, so it happens. And yes, Jarrett and Lethal are basically TNA 2.0. You had Mark Briscoe show up, and Mark Briscoe was upset about Dax Harwood giving him the pile driver the other week, and Dax apologized, said it was an accident, went for a handshake, but instead Mark slapped him and stormed out of the ring. Now, Team Jarrett came out there, but Mark was not pleased with them either. And Mark told Jay Lethal he's sick and tired of the BS and shoved Lethal as he went to the back. So the idea is that Mark Briscoe's not happy with either side. In other words, he's going to call it right down the middle, and I suspect he will. But again, we'll talk about the predictions on the predictions video. Pretty solid segment here, but I mean, it's Jeff Jarrett getting a pay-per-view match in 2023, which Big G's happy about, but I'm not sure if anybody else is. I mean, it's Jeff Jarrett. He's a legend, but really, with all the other teams you have struggling to get TV time, just saying. Sammy Guevara cut another promo backstage, said he's not for sale. MJF can try to throw money at him, but Sammy is tired of people buying him out of his dreams, and it's going to end this Sunday at Double or Nothing. We had a 6-man trios match, House of Black versus Blake Christian, AR Fox, and the former Grand Metalik from WWE, now just Metalik. We had the House of Black special effects lighting for the match. And the challengers got in some offense. They had a pretty decent showing. Metalik and Blake's did some of their high-flying moves, and AR Fox tried to take Brody King down, but could not do it. However, when everybody was brawling on the outside, AR Fox hit a springboard implosion senton, as Excalibur put it. Crazy move that he does, taking everybody out. But eventually, House of Black was able to get the upper hand, and we had 3 submissions applied simultaneously. And since in the House of Black match rules that they have, there's no rope break, and AR Fox had to tap out eventually. Good showing for them, but House of Black, no surprise here, retains their titles. We had a backstage promo from the Blackpool Combat Club to hype up the Anarchy in the Arena match on Sunday. Also plugged at the main event, Claudio and Willow Yuta going for the ROH tag team titles. And Moxley said that everybody will see the difference between professionals and amateurs at Double or Nothing. We then had the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF, come into the ring. And on the way, he threw a drink at Tony Schiavone. He called the fans in Las Vegas the Vegas Virgins. And he praised the Pillars and said that, God damn it, they are AEW. However, MJF did admit that he's getting bored. He once again brought up his contract, tired of being disrespected, and talked about how Tony Khan is desperate to get the title off of him before he potentially leaves the company. And he said none of the people that he's facing, none of the Pillars, are at the level of the Devil. And at this point, Darby Allin came to the ring wearing his lifts in his boots to make himself look taller. But, I mean, tons of guys do that. Kane did it. Many of them did it over the years. And Darby talked about his humble beginnings, how he had to work in a 99-cent store cleaning toilets, and he lived in his car to try and make it as a wrestler. And he talked about how AEW saved his sanity, and he will take the title, and he might just do it with a headlock takeover. MJF responded by kicking Darby low. Why do these guys never wear cups, by the way? Like, especially when you're in the ring with a guy that's known to do stuff like this. Sammy Guevara ran down to make the save. Babyface Sammy Guevara, which I'm still suspicious about. MJF fled the ring, and then Jungle Boy showed up, took MJF down with a clothesline, and then held up the AEW Championship. So nice little segment here. Not exactly the home run I was hoping for, but it was a good segment to build up the Pillars match. I still am not changing my thoughts, but again, You have to tune in for the predictions video for that. For what it was a good segment. We then had the women's match, not at 9:15, 9:30, but right at the top of the hour or close to it. Taya Valkyrie versus Lady Frost. Basically a showcase match for Taya to build her up for the pay-per-view match with Jade Cargill. And Jade did show up on the stage to provide a little bit of a distraction. Taya was a bit distracted, but after some offense from Frost, Taya got the upper hand, speared Lady Frost, hit her with a knee strike, and then finished her off with the Road to Sarah Logan finisher. So yeah, just a showcase match, not much else to say about it. And then we had Tony Khan's big announcement for this week, which is the location of the first Collision show. And yes, it will in fact take place at the United Center in Chicago. And Matthew, they did show video footage of Lady Frost winning in Ring of Honor, so I guess they did something. But yeah, I mean, the whole point of the match was to build up Taya. United Center in Chicago for Collision's debut, which, I mean, basically confirms CM Punk is going to be there, although Tony Khan did not announce CM Punk. We did hear the fans chanting it in the background, but no official confirmation. So it looks like, and this is because they're putting tickets on sale this Friday. I mean, they only got a few weeks here. They got to get moving with it. I guess the idea is they're going to try and recreate the buzz of 2 years ago, not 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago when CM Punk first debuted. They sold out United Center on a rumor. Now, can they recreate that? Can they do it again? I mean, I think people know CM Punk is going to be there, but are you risking maybe not getting ticket sales from fans that haven't watched wrestling, maybe fans that haven't really followed CM Punk or AEW? Are there any fans out there that exist? I mean, it's an interesting play. I'm a little surprised they did not announce CM Punk, but we'll see if they can recreate that buzz from the first show. What happens if they don't sell that many tickets? Are they going to announce CM Punk? Will CM Punk decide, I don't want to be associated with a show that's not drawing well? Like, I'm really curious what happens if they don't sell a lot of tickets for this. But we'll see what happens. It's an interesting play for sure. If it was me, I would have just announced CM Punk and started building up hype over the next 3 weeks. Throw up some video packages of CM Punk and, just build up hype that way. It's an interesting, risky move that they're doing here, I think, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure to see how many tickets they sell, because so far the ticket sales have not been that good for Collision. These 5 episodes that are coming up, like one show has like 600 tickets sold, which is not good at all. Now, granted, they also have a Dynamite in the same market the day before, but still, you would think that fans buying the Dynamite tickets would buy tickets for the second show since it's AEW's debut in the market. Endeavor representative sent in a $9.99 super chat. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Says, I told Vince McMahon no contract signings. Not only did the board overrule me, but they suspended me for this past Monday. Who do these a-holes think they are? Endeavor would die if it wasn't for me. Well, AEW decided, since WWE's doing the contract signing, they got to do one too. Like, Endeavor representative, you got to not only influence WWE, but you need to influence AEW. Can we get rid of contract signings once and for all? Can we bury it 6 feet under? Just like CM Punk buried Kevin Nash all those years ago on Monday Night Raw. That's what we need. And Anthony, AEW's doing combo tickets, I think, at least for some of these shows. And I think for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, they were doing like some kind of combo deal and like 4 tickets, 4-ticket combos and all sorts of things to try and boost ticket sales. Attendance was pretty weak for Dynamite. I think they had like maybe 4,500 people there, and the lights were turned way down. Even the hard camera side had a lot of empty seats, or the television side, I should say. Hard camera usually has empty seats, but the TV side where you see the people watching on television, yeah, there were some noticeable empty seats, and they had to turn the lights way down for this show. And Double or Nothing's not even close to being sold out. Like, they could put 15,000 people in the building, and they got like under 8,000 tickets, I think, sold for the event. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Forbidden Door is sold out, and obviously they did a tremendous number for Wembley, but everything else in North America, they're struggling. Even Toronto for Collision is not doing great. They got like 1,700 tickets sold for that. Is CM Punk a needle mover? We're about to find out. We will find out on Friday just how much of a needle mover CM Punk is in 2023. If they sell out, if they even do like 10,000 tickets, I will be impressed without confirming CM Punk. And that to me will be a real sign that CM Punk, at least in Chicago, is a difference maker. And it'll be interesting to see the ticket sales for the other events too, to see if they go up with the buzz about CM Punk. I mean, so far they haven't, but there's also been the doubt about CM Punk. We had our contract signing, but before that, Adam Page cut a little backstage promo, talked about how he's been at odds with the Elite, but at the end of the day, they are family, and family sticks together no matter what. We had our contract signing between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole, baby, and I'm not a fan of the contract signings, as you guys know. Cole signed the contract, basically said he's going to beat the living hell out of Jericho. The blood is going to be on his hands, and that's just the way he likes it. He's going to break Jericho's hand, and then told Jericho before he does it, he wants Jericho to sign the paper, bitch. And the crowd chanted, sign it. They chanted, sign it, bitch, at Jericho. Jericho said he's no bitch. He's not from Las Vegas. He instigated Cole because there was a no-touch policy for the signing, showed the footage of Britt Baker being attacked, and questioned what kind of a man Adam Cole is. Jericho finally signed the contract and said that because it's no rules, Cole's going to be in a lot of trouble because Cole only has Roderick Strong. And Cole mentioned that that is true, but he made a phone call. And I thought this was going to be Bobby Fish because, well, Undisputed Era reunion. But I guess Bobby Fish is still on Tony Khan's shit list because it was not Bobby Fish, but rather somebody I was not expecting. And that was SABU. SABU making his AEW debut. Former ECW superstar SABU. I was surprised, definitely surprised by this. He came out there, threw a chair at Daddy Magic. Good guys cleared the ring. And Matthew brings up a good point. It was still 5-on-3, but SABU is a legend. And yeah, he's going to be in the corner of Adam Cole this Sunday at Double or Nothing. Now, I'm just curious about this match because it's unsanctioned, and we also have Anarchy in the arena. So how are they going to make these matches different? I mean, obviously one's a multi-person match, but unsanctioned, Anarchy in the arena, it's basically 2 no-holds-barred matches with weapons and blood. So I'm really curious to see what they do to make these matches different from each other. We'll find out this Sunday. Then we had Danny Garcia versus Roderick Strong. All due respect to Roderick Strong, this was the Charisma Vacuum match of the evening. Pretty good match technically, but didn't really care much about it. Garcia got the upper hand with a curb stomp, which is basically just a normal move in AEW. In WWE, it's Rollins' finisher. He applied the Dragon Tamer, but Strong got out of it. Strong was able to pick up the win with his finisher, the End of Heartache. He gets another win. He's doing pretty good for himself so far. Tony Khan must be a Roderick Strong fan. And good old JM Jeff Meacham wonders if maybe they tried to get RVD and couldn't, so they got Sabu instead. I mean, who knows? I mean, I know that Tony Khan is a big ECW fan. I mean, that was his jam back in the day, so I could see him wanting to bring in Sabu at some point. Another interesting moment on this show, we had footage shown of Willow Nightingale beating Mercedes Monet. Mercedes Monet officially, well, not officially, but actually appearing on AEW television via footage from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that was interesting to me. I guess New Japan was cool with the footage being shown. Elevates Willow, who's a regular in AEW. She was at the Detroit show in a pre-show match for Dynamite. Then we had our main event of the evening, which was Claudio and Wheeler Yuta versus the Lucha Brothers for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I mean, yeah, it's the main event, but I really don't care about the Ring of Honor tag team titles. So, I mean, the match is good. You know, it's going to be good with these guys, but I just don't care about the titles. Too many titles. Brian was out there on commentary. We had the hockey fight in the beginning. Pretty much the usual. Lucha Brothers doing lots of crazy stuff. Dives to the outside. After the break, Blackpool Combat Club got the upper hand for a while. And then the Lucha Brothers started to build up some momentum, but they could not put away Blackpool Combat Club. And Wheeler Yuta came off the top with a big splash. Phoenix kicked out of that. And Alexander, the assistant, got on the apron. Lucha Brothers went for the Fear Factor. And as they did this, the Young Bucks came from under the ring and prevented Claudio from saving his partner, Wheeler, who got double teamed with the Fear Factor. Lucha Brothers retained their titles. And after the match, Blackpool Combat Club ran down Moxley and Bryan. Young Bucks went into the crowd. And Moxley cut a pretty damn good promo here. He said that they can laugh and smile all they want. Do it while they still can, because this Sunday, it's going to be the wildest, most violent match in AEW history. And Moxley said, for those of you that are squeamish, buckle your goddamn seatbelts, because it's going to be a war. It's going to be anarchy in the arena. Great promo here by Moxley to close things out. I thought that was very well done. Show was all right. I mean, I don't think it was a very weak episode, but I mean, it was far from the best go-home wrestling show I've ever seen. So I'd probably go with a B-. Some solid promos on the show. Matches were pretty good. Not too much to complain about, but there was really nothing that really blew me away to the point where I'm like, holy crap, I got to see this show on Sunday. The closest thing was Moxley at the end. But everything else was decent. Jeff Meacham sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Jeff. Much appreciated. Says, tons more content still to come this week here on No DQ and across the JMN multiverse of media. Everyone, please like, sub, and say yes to No DQ and the Jeff Meacham Network. Again, thank you for that, Jeff. And I'll throw up the plug here for good old JM Jeff Meacham. He is going to be doing Talk Wrestling this coming Sunday. So make sure you guys check that out. Or not Sunday, Friday. I'm thinking double or nothing for Sunday. Friday night, Jeff is doing a special edition of Talk Wrestling with a huge announcement, and there's all of Jeff's plugs. So follow him at _Jeff Meacham on Twitter and search Jeff Meacham Network on YouTube. That's it, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love. NoDQ.com will have live coverage this weekend of both WWE Clash of Champions and Double or Nothing. I might post about NXT if something happens, but my focus will be Double or Nothing. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the updates and news. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.